Hey Dan, nice to meet you.
We lost all the footage and I'm embarrassed. Thank God you're a chill guy.
Accidents happen.
Where do we start? Hey guys, this is a video with Ryan Brough. He has toured the country as a musician, and when his band broke up, found himself depressed and living in his parents' basement, and through building skills, he slowly became a professional photographer and filmmaker, and he earns his full-time living doing that in Toronto. In this video, we talk about some of his early lessons, dealing with the uncertainty that comes with a creative and freelance-based career, charging what you're worth. Ryan has a lot of heart, and I have taken a lot away from this, and I hope you do too. So enjoy. I
think it was like roughly like 50 to 60 shows in 1 year.
What was that year like?
It was awesome. We played 9 provinces. We played shows to no one. We played shows to 400 people. I had 1 year where it was like, go, 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 and then the band broke up. And suddenly I'm back in Windsor. I'm living in my parents' basement at 23, and I'm working at Payless part-time at Tecumseh Mall, and I'm just like, man, this sucks. Like I was like honestly depressed. I didn't know what to do with my life. Yeah. Because for the last 8 years I was music. Dropped out of college. I quit my job at the mall. I ended things with the girl I was with, like to focus on music. When we were on tour, I have such a terrible short memory, but I shot all these photos and videos because I wanted to remember everything. And then I would cut these little like tour video blogs. The videos got like over 1,000 hits, and I thought that was kind of cool. I never really took it seriously. Like I never made money off it. I just did it because it was like fun to do. And my friend's like, you should take photography seriously. And I was like, no, like I'm doing my music thing. Like I'm not trying to do that. And then after like 1 year of not playing shows and just being bummed out, like, my buddy's like, man, like let's go to New York. Like we haven't been. Let's just go. And the weekend before I went, my buddy's like, man, you can't take photos in New York with an iPhone. You're gonna look like a dork. And I was like, you're right. I applied for a Best Buy credit card and got approved and got a T3i. First week of my camera was in New York. I shoot these photos and I'm like, I'm diving in.
And then like, where did you go from there?
I went on Facebook and I was checking out like all these music videos that were made in Windsor. And I came across this guy named Simon. One night I'm at FM Lounge and I'm checking out a show, and in walks Simon, and I was like, that's the guy. Like I was like, hey man, like my name's Ryan. I saw your music video for like Chris and Matt's band. And I was like, yo man, like I'd love to work with you sometime. Like the next day I Facebook message him, and then like a day later it's like, hey, I'm making a music video tonight. You want to come out? And I was like, shit, yeah. Like I don't really know much, but like I can come and like lend a hand. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Then like 10 minutes, he's like, go grab a 35mm 1.8, and I'm like, I literally have no idea what that means. As he's like setting up the camera, he's like, oh, yeah, okay, so this is white balance, and here's shutter speed and aperture and this frame rate, and you're shooting at 1080 at 24 frames. I was like it's too much information taken at once.
What was it about photography and video that got like that captured your attention?
My favorite part about photography is shooting live music, because literally like a show happens once. You can have a choreographed set, but like things can go wrong, and things can be different, and you can have a different step and a different smile. Capturing like a one-of-a-kind moment is super cool. Like I get a high out of it. Yes.
Did you ever feel any kind of like hesitation towards those skills? Like did you think like, oh, I don't know if I could do it, or was it just you just kind of fell into it?
Here's the thing, when I first started shooting, it was all for fun. I was just trying to book as many shoots as possible because I wanted as much experience as possible, and I wanted to put my name out there as much as possible. I never really did anything because I expected anything. I just did it because I loved doing it. It sounds cheesy, but everything just kind of worked out. It took 5 years for everything to work out, and it's still kind of working itself out. Like I've been late for rent. I've had apples for dinner. I've you know, I've had my cell phone shut off. I've had my internet shut off. It's been tough. But now I'm at a point where I'm living in Toronto, and I've been freelance for like 4 years, and I wake up every day happy, and I get to make my own schedule, and I'm creative for a living, and I'm just like is this as good as it gets? And then I get another project, and I'm like, okay, it keeps on getting better.
So tell me about the first time that you got cash for
okay. So I was doing all this work for free, and then this band hit me up and like, hey, like we need new portrait sessions for our like CD. What do you charge? And I was like, oh shit. What do I charge?
Had you even thought about it before?
No, never.
Until someone else offered it.
Until someone was like, we need to pay you for this. And I was like, I can make money off this? Like, I didn't even think that was a thing. And then I remember like asking a buddy, I was like, what should I charge? And he's like, oh, like $100. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot. So, I know. So I charged them $60. And
so pricey.
Yes. And then when they gave me the money and like they left and I closed the door, I was just like, yeah, money. You know, I was like, holy shit, like I can make money.
It's a big milestone.
Yeah, it was
your first payment. Yeah,
it's very cool.
And was that the moment that you said, I got this, I can do this, or was it before?
I'd say that was probably the moment where I was like, okay, like this is the thing. I was in a position where I was like making music videos for this artist, and me and Simon had made 3, And then we wanted to do a fourth one, and I said, hey man, like, you pay us $200? He got like really offended, and I thought that was like, why? I have to pay for rent. Like, why should I have to feel bad about charging you? And I did feel bad. For a while, I was like, man, like, you know, like, it's cool to, like, help out artists. You know? Like, but then I thought about it, like, I don't want to work construction for the rest of my life. I was making good money, but, like, I was miserable every day at work. Summer 2015, I had, like, $800 in the bank, and I was like, okay, I got some work lined up. I'm just going to go for it.
People have different expectations about photography. They have different budgets. How do you think about attaching a dollar value to your services?
It can be what you make it. I'm not afraid to like do a photo shoot for $100 because it might lead to something. I see the bigger picture. So like I still to this day discount people if I think it's worth my time. Someone could offer the exact same service as you and have the exact same camera and do the exact same lenses and do the exact same editing, but then charge $1,000 more for what? We'll never know. A kid can download a cracked version of whatever and suddenly they're an artist, you know, and then they have a SoundCloud, and then they have 10,000 followers and they haven't played a show. Whoever can find success in art, like, you know, they're working hard because it's not an easy thing.
Are there any times that come to mind that, like, one where you, like, really bombed, maybe in front of somebody when your ass was on the line?
I shot this commercial for a restaurant. Spent, like, they prepared all these dishes, and I shot all the dishes, and like food, not like actual dishes. You know? I had all this footage and I spent the whole day on it, and then I shot a wedding the next day and I didn't dump the footage, and it was like a 64 gigabyte card and only half of it was filled. Anybody with half a brain would be like, hey, can I format this card? And then he didn't ask me. He formatted the whole thing and it was gone. Halfway through the ceremony, I was like, oh, I bet you he formatted that card.
Formatting means deleting everything.
Getting rid of it all. And so I went up to him, I was like, hey man, did you format that card? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so then as soon as the ceremony's done, I go outside and I have to call this guy and be like, hey man, sorry, this happened.
What was that like when you had to pick up the phone and call him?
It sucked. It was better to just let him know right away. Like, it was literally the next day, right? This is what happened. I'm going to come back. I'm going to shoot for free. I'm going to give you all your money back. You're not going to pay me a dime. And the video is going to be done a week ahead of when you expect it.
Cool. That's the best way you could have dealt with it, When did you stop saying yes to everything? When were you first able to say no this, no that?
Yeah, I did this photo shoot at this event. I stayed an hour and a half longer than I was supposed to, and this person was really just giving me the runaround. And then when it come time to pay, they tried to pay me like less than what I was owed. I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm doing this for this much, and I'm doing this thing because it's super cool. Why am I doing this bullshit? It came a point where like I had enough success where I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
That's such a good milestone as well.
It's very cool.
Like when you're able to start saying no.
That's the thing. People can chessmate me so good because if you book me for a music video for $100 or $10,000, I'm still gonna do the best I can. I've had my fair share of doing things for free, doing things that I thought would pay off and then didn't pay off, but like, I never dwell on it, you know? Just keep it moving.
Do you think differently about yourself and the value of your work and what you do than when you first started?
Absolutely. When I first started, I thought I was replaceable.
Like anyone can pick a...
because anybody can. There were so many other people in the city in Windsor that were better than me. I would compare myself and think, like, I'm really far down on the totem pole compared to this person, this person, this person. It was just people telling me I was good and giving me recognition, and like it seemed genuine. And then I started getting paid for a lot of stuff, and that kind of weeded out all the things I was doing for free.
And then when did you start thinking about moving to Toronto?
So when I was in Chasing Amy, I was living just outside Toronto, and I always wanted to get back there. You know?
Why?
Because it was just to be brutally honest, like living in Windsor, I just felt like everything I was doing was being judged by someone I knew from like grade school or high school, and people talk, and you dated this girl, and then like, you know, this many people have this bad perspective of you regardless of what good you do in the earth. Well, when you're 16, you did this. And then when I went to Toronto, I was just another face in the crowd. I could be whoever I wanted. I didn't have to impress anybody. I was like a fresh start kind of type thing. Moving to Toronto made me have so much confidence the first time. It was just cool to know that I could be whoever I wanted, and like I always could be whoever I wanted, but I just never felt that way in Windsor. And then when I moved back, I knew exactly who I was and who I wanted to be.
So was it just a feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. You said like this has been one of the most influential changes on your life and career?
Yeah.
Putting words in your mouth?
No.
What happened when you got there?
So
what changed?
Literally, it just like I realized how I don't want to talk shit about Windsor, but like in Windsor, people are okay with doing stuff for free, and that's fine. People are okay with doing things as a hobby. But in Toronto, it was the first time I really felt challenged. There's so much opportunity in front of me. Like I can really make something out of it. I thought that when I first got that $60, but then like I'm in Toronto, I'm like, okay, like living with my girlfriend at the time and we're paying $17.50 a month. Like that's a serious amount of money. I got to pull my weight. I love working hard and like being challenged and like not knowing what's coming up next, but knowing that like just working hard, it'll all figure itself out. When I first moved there, I got a list of like 70 different places for people to play, and I emailed every single one and said, hey, like I would love to be the in-house photographer. I think I got like 3 replies, and then nothing. It didn't lead to any work, and I was like, well, I don't need a middleman. I want to work directly with the artist. I'll just contact the artist. I've sent close to like 1,200 emails contacting bands and letting them know who I am and putting myself out there, and at first there was nothing, but then I started getting some replies. And one band, Good Night Sunrise, check them out. I literally emailed them, said if you need anything, let me know. They hit me back and like, oh, we want to do a music video. So I made the music video, that led to a paycheck. They were like on this little like small tour, went on tour with them, that led to a paycheck. Then they needed an album cover, that led to a paycheck. Before you know it, I got a phone call to like, Ryan, we're opening up for Bon Jovi at the ACC. We need you to be there. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So then like, before you know it, I'm at the ACC and walking by these cases that say Bon Jovi's name on them, and then I'm like on stage at ACC and there's a sold-out crowd in front of me, and I'm like, this is pretty sick. And like that's another paycheck. And like I was there like having fun. The drummer's now wife works at this ad agency, and then she's like, hey, do you do product photos? And then that led to more work. I want to talk about this. When I think too far into the future, I like freak out. So like you don't know like what's gonna happen, where this is gonna lead. But how do you stay in that mindset of just keeping one foot in front of the other and just trusting that things will work out? I never think too far ahead. There's times where I'm like, wow, I have like 7 things to edit. I have a bunch of projects coming up, and like I don't know how I'm gonna complete everything and but I'm just like, take a deep breath, go for a bike ride, put on some chill music. Everything is one thing at a time, and you just get one thing done, and then you do the next one. Have you always been good with it? No. Okay. This is a serious truth. When I was between like I'd say 14 and 19, my biggest fear was being homeless. Like ending up on the streets and not being able to make money and not being good enough to do anything because I was terrible in school. I still think of that sometimes. Yeah, there's no way I was going to be in college or be a doctor or like do anything that had any value to it, you know? Like I was like really anxious all the time. And then that first time I was like living and hanging out in Toronto, that's where I gained all my confidence. Got it. Do you have like a vision or an end goal for your career? Like if you could have it completely your way? Like, or where do you see this going? Again, I don't try to think too far ahead. So that's probably good. When I first started, I was like, I just like shooting photos of my friend. And then I started getting paid. And then I got a feature in the Windsor Independent. Got like a full page of like a write-up about me, and my photos were featured. And I thought that was like as cool as it gets. And then I got voted best photographer in the city, and I was like, that's as cool as it gets. And I would shoot all these bands. I shot Drake, Tame Impala, Weezer, Blink-182, list goes on. I'm like, is this as good as it gets? And then I made a music video for a lot of money. I was like, is this as good as it gets? And I don't know, it just keeps on like, I don't know what's next. Right. But I know that I want to just keep doing this for the rest of my life for as long as I can. I never thought I'd get this far, but it did, so I'm cool with it. But if worst comes to worst, I'd probably just like get a job in marketing or something like that. Cool. Yeah. I'm really good with numbers, so I'm just like maybe an accountant or something. Who knows? Yeah. And you mentioned what you do when there's like a lot of stuff on your plate and there's like not a lot of work coming in, whether it's a lull or a dip, and like how do you think about that, and then what actions do you take? Example, summer 2016 to the end of 2016, I made a good amount of money. In February 2017, I made $500. And and it was tough. In the wintertime, it's really slow. It's a lot of me not going out, a lot of me doing the cold calls, a lot of me just going to as many shows as possible and doing as much free work as I can to like put my name out there as much as possible and get the ball rolling, you know. And then when the summer comes, it's just like, oh my God, all the projects, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. But I love it because I literally have no complaints. Yeah. Like I get to be creative for a living. Like what could be better? And it's seasons too, right? Financial seasons, there's like weather seasons, football seasons. Not always this level, you know what I mean? And you just have to like ride it out. Even if it sucks for a little while, like, you know, getting your cell phone shut off and having to tell people, oh, like hit me up on Facebook because my phone's not working. Like that sucks, you know? Or like looking in your fridge and there's like a butter container and like a couple beers, and you're like, oh, I'm really hungry, man.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
you just, I don't know. I try not to complain and like dwell on things and worry too much. Just like keep it moving, you know?
Yeah. I want to shift more into like Q&A type questions.
Sure.
Is there like a book or a talk or a speech or a quote that you, I know it's a lot, but one of those things that you keep going back to that's been meaningful or helpful to you?
Two things. One is this documentary called Press, Pause, Play. Everything you need is at the tip of your fingers. Like everything you want to do in art, you can do it if you just do it. There's this TV show called How to Make It in America.
Okay.
It's very low key. No one really knows about
heard it.
Kid Cudi is a dog walking weed dealer in the movie or in the TV show. It's the perfect show if you feel like you want to feel inspired and you need to see it from someone's point of view that's on the grind. This TV show, like,
cool.
There's only 2 seasons and I've watched both seasons like 5 times.
Got it. Just for inspiration.
Yeah.
Is there something that is not on either your resume or CV or your demo reel that's not on there that should be? I
basically like had 2 careers in a way, because between 16 and 22, all I did was music, and I got to the point where like I toured across Canada and like I had a video on Much Music and I played sold out shows, and you know, people like made like YouTube cover videos of our band, and like it was a small time Canadian success, you know, like but like I just don't think about that anymore. Like it's just like
another life.
There's another life, yeah. Like, and it's funny because now like when I play drums for someone that's only known me in the last 4 years, they're like, where did that come from? And I'm like, man, I played drums for like 12 years. Like I was in a band that like the Cone, the bass player from Sum 41 produced, and like I've been in meetings with the biggest entertainment lawyer in all of Canada, and he like told us how much he loved our music, and like an example, like I've played probably close to like 400 shows my whole life, and some people have never even written a song and will never know what it's like to play a show, and I'm just like, I can't believe they don't know what that's like. But I take it for granted because I don't even think about it anymore. Nothing has ever come easy, and nothing has ever, I truthfully believe, unless you just were born into money, nothing happens for someone that just sits there and just is like, oh, I'm afraid. You know, like you have to put yourself out there. I never expected to shoot Drake. I never expected to shoot Tame Impala. I never expected to be voted best photographer. I never expected to direct over 30 music videos. I never expected to move to Toronto. It just kind of happened.
When was the last time you cried tears of joy?
Shit. I just got like really, 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 really excited and was like smiling like a complete dork. And when I get really excited, I like play drums on my body really fast. I bought a new camera. So I switched to Sony. I spent like close to $5,000 on a new camera, and I was just like, I finally got to a point where I could save up enough money to buy a new camera. Like that was like a really good milestone for me, and I was just like, this is really cool. And I'm really excited about what's next now that I have this professional. Like not that I wasn't professional before, but like this is like I'm competing with the big boys now.
Yeah. Where can people find you online?
Instagram, Zebra Media,
cool.
Or just my Facebook account. Yeah, I'm kind of, I lack. I don't have a website or anything.
Yeah.
Instagram, if you want to see some funny videos of me drunk. Instagram.
There we go.
And my best work.
Yes. Both. Is there anything else that you'd want to add?
I want people to do what they want to do and not create excuses or think that they can't because of their mom or their dad or their friends telling them that they can't. Because you can. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I literally had like family telling me like, don't move to Toronto because you're going to move back in 2 months and you're going to be broke.
And this is just a year ago.
Year and a half ago. Yeah. And I had already had a lot of success.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't move to Toronto. It's going to be a waste of money. Rent is too much. People will always throw an excuse at you, but if you want to do something, just do it and don't hold back. If you're 5'4" and you're trying to make the NBA, let's be real. But if you're passionate about something and you're good at it, do it. You know, why hold back? Yeah.
Cool, man.
That's all I gotta add.
Well, hey, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
You just make it seem very doable.
Yeah.
I'm like, weird, Ryan's making it happen, so like I think I can too.
I shot this wedding with this guy who we had a couple glasses of wine and we were shooting the shit, and he's like, you are an example, like I've never told you this, but like you're an example of someone that can make it, man. Like like you made it, you did it. You started in Windsor and you made it, and like you gave me like the motive to be like, I'm from Windsor, I can make it. And I feel like a lot of people in the city feel that way. And actually, I almost probably teared up there. Like, I was like, man, thank you, dude. Yeah, it's really cool when people, like, reach out and, like, tell you how much they care. It's even funny when, like, people from high school are like, man, like, I saw you did this. And I'm like, I literally haven't talked to you in, like, 15 years. People are excited about what I'm doing, and I don't even talk to them. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
So thanks for sharing your story here. hopefully more people will be inspired. I know they will.
Yeah.
And until next time.
Until next time.
Cool. This is a hugging car, by the way. So.
All right.
All right. Let me drop you back off.
Cool.
This guy's going back to Toronto tomorrow? Or the 1 a.m. train?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, cool. And until next time.
Cool.
And that was Ryan Brough. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you leave a comment with a timestamp of your aha moment or favorite part of the video. Also share this with a friend who you think might need a particular lesson that we talked about. And sign up for email updates at dantatebrown.com and enjoy the next video. Do you
want to turn the air?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Good call.
Yeah, the air flow.
Thank you. I still do this.
He wrote this book. I'm going to like mess up this quote. I know I'm like, again, it's from the documentary, but he read this, he read Malcolm Gladwell's book, and then he wrote a book called, okay, I'm going to start over. This author read The Tipping Point, and then he wrote this book. Anyways, I'm going to start over for a third time.